I was harvesting the last of the potatoes from the potato patch and came across a very special fungus that I would like to show you. Let's take a look.
Can you take a look here? You see all this fungus down here, this white fungus? You see that? This here. That's called Mycorrhizal fungi, and it is amazing stuff. There was a fellow that came to the garden a few weeks ago, and he told us about it. He mentioned something about it and said, yeah, we have that. Look at it all here. This is just loaded with it, loaded with it. And he said it's really good because mycorrhizal fungi will actually grow. It'll have quite an expanded range, and it, like from Virginia to Maine. And if it's not interrupted, it will create a network that communicates with the plants and communicates in the soil. And what happens is when a plant in any particular area that doesn't have the nutrients that it needs, this mycorrhizal fungi will actually, the plant will communicate with the fungi, and the fungi will provide the plant with that nutrient that it needs from the soil. It will find it and give it to it. So it's really quite amazing. Now, I don't know exactly how far it will go to do that, but this fellow was implying that that it could be several hundred miles away, that this stuff would provide a nutrient to a plant. Now, that is just amazing. And, you know, some people say, well, evolution, but, you know, this just shows that there's a God. And it just seems so much like, you know, the value of the covering. And under the covering, you have everything that's provided for the soil and for the plants. Now, under the covering and the garden is where there's health. And the soil becomes healthy. The plants are healthy because the soil is healthy. All you have to do is look around and you can see that the plants are healthy here. They're very healthy. And the soil is healthy. But having the covering over the garden is such a parallel to the covering in our lives, because the covering in our lives provides everything that we need as well. And it's so important to have the right covering. And I'd like to talk about that some other time, but it's the right covering for us certainly is the Lord. And so when we are under the Lord's covering in the body of Christ, is it not just like this mycorrhizal fungi, that wherever there's a need, the network of the Spirit seeks out, finds, knows where to find the provision for the need, and then brings the provision to the need. That is how the body of Christ is supposed to function. And the healthy body of Christ, that is how it functions. And it doesn't matter if it's across denominational lines or through church walls. It's the body of Christ, the believers. And so I think this is just an amazing parallel. I have a dear friend who it's very important to him that he function in the body of Christ this way. And, you know, whatever is his, he stewards to the very best of his ability. And he provides whatever is his to whoever has a need of it. Now, if it's abused, then it won't be provided in the future. But it really is a good manifestation of the functioning, the healthy functioning of the body of Christ, just like this mycorrhizal fungi. Well, we've got all the rest of the potatoes harvested, and so we'll get these collected up in a bucket and get them off to the truck. But what I've done is, at this point, now the soil's bare and no fresh wood chips have been put over this year, but I have put manure. So we've got some semi-composted manure. It's old, so I've also put through my chipper shredder some of the tops of potatoes like these, and that's what we see here. That's a pile of greens, and what I'll do is I'll just take and spread those out and spread them out on the other parts of the garden, and then I have some wood chips in the wheelbarrow and a small pile of wood chips there. I'll spread those out, and this will be good to go. And probably in a couple of weeks I'll plant fall peas here. So we'll start having peas, and I think I might put some lettuces here as well. So it's just taking advantage of the ground and what grows when and planting it out accordingly. So you can see the green beans are doing well that we put in. They're coming up those trellises. The deer got in here, and that's usually not a problem when the deer get in here with the green beans, because they usually leave them alone. But if you look around, you can see they really did a number on the sweet potatoes. You can look at some other videos. This sweet potato patch was a sea of beautiful green sweet potato leaves. And I would say they really ate probably 95 to 98% of those leaves. And most of it was done last night. But I'll spray some rotten eggs and water on those sweet potato vines, and those leaves will come right back, and we'll still have great sweet potatoes. Well, I want to let you know also that the filmmakers of the Back to Eden film are hosting a summit on August 21st. And you can register for that summit on the backtoedenfilm.com website. And they're going to be interviewing Paul Gauci, they're interviewing Diane, my wife, and I, and they're also interviewing experts actually from around the world, gardening experts, soil experts, and food experts, and they're even going to show video samples of microorganisms in the soil. And there is an enormous surprise with that. So you'll have to watch it to find out. So go online, backtoedenfilm.com website. You can register for the summit, August 21st. Thanks for watching.
I wanted to explain a little bit to you here what I'm doing. After putting the ground up greens down, a thin layer, I put the wood chips on, and it looks like I'm putting them on very, very thick, and I am. I put them on 8 to 10 inches, and through the course of time, not very long, rain and etc., walking on them, they'll compress down to 4 to 6 inches pretty quickly. And so it looks like they're higher than the surrounding chips. If you look closely, it's because they are.